Hey guys, it's Brian with the Midnight Mechanic, and we're going to introduce you to our newest project, Project Sidewinder. Now, why do we call it Project Sidewinder? Well, if you've seen our video where we did the strip it or flip it on this, you'll understand. The previous owner called it Sidewinder, and we just kind of rolled with it because he loved this truck, and I think it's pretty cool. He really took care of it, so we're going to try and do him right. So hopefully you guys saw our strip it or flip it where we decided that we were going to go ahead and fix up this truck rather than strip it for parts. It was just too nice to do that. But it did have some problems. If you remember in the video, it sounded like this. So the main problem with this truck was that it spit a spark plug, and it had already had a time cert installed and it spit that one out, so the hole was too big to install a standard size time cert. Well, you could buy bigger ones, but they're extremely hard to find. But luckily, one of my friends found one down in Charlotte, and another one of my friends went and picked it up and sent it to me. So right here, yep, this is what we used to install the time cert in there, and it actually worked. Now, this thing is about $600, but luckily my friend found it for $150. I paid him about 25 bucks to ship the thing and a couple nut certs. So basically, not including the tool, I've installed about 50 bucks worth of parts to get this thing running. And here is how it sounds. So now that we had it running good, the problem we had run into is that the battery was now dead in it because it did sit for a long time. So we had to put a new battery in it. So what I did is I went to Waze. Now this is an AGM battery and it has a 3-year warranty and it should work perfectly in this truck. So now that we have it running and driving good, now we can work on the stance for this thing. So in this shop, we normally go up with 4-wheel drive and down with 2-wheel drive. Well, this thing's 2-wheel drive, but he kind of has it set up as if it was 4-wheel drive. That's just not really our style. So we're going to go ahead and put some F150 stocks on it. I got my eye on some. Hopefully I can get them for a good price. Then I'll throw some new tires on it and we'll lower it to match the wheels and tires. On top of that, I'm going to pull these side steps off of it because they're really not in good shape. So we're going to get rid of those. Plus on a lower truck, they won't really look that good. Now, the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to shave off these pinstripes. Go ahead and give it a good detail. Maybe put a few graphics on it. Not really sure, but we're going to get this thing looking really good. Show you guys what it looks like, so follow along. So here's what I'm going to do to get the pinstripe off. I'm going to use a heat gun, and I'm actually going to use chrome polish. Right here, this Never Dull. I have found that this stuff takes the glue off really, really easily. I used to detail cars when I was younger, and I've kind of kept it up. I'm sure there's probably a better way to do this by now, but at the same time, it is a little tedious, but I found that it has really, really good results in getting this off. I also use it when I like shave side moldings and things like that. I don't know, it works really, really well. So I do recommend it if you want to do that. But that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead, shave this whole side off. I've already done the other side, but I'm not going to show it to you yet. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I was going to do a time lapse of doing the entire side, but it takes forever and I didn't want to waste the space on my memory card or my hard drive. So I'm just going to go ahead, show you it's all done. Now you get really close, can't see anything. There's no lines, everything's smooth. Now it's going to take the wax off, obviously. So you're going to go ahead and have to wax this after the fact, but the truck's really dirty right now. So we're going to go ahead and clean it and detail it after we're done with it. So this isn't really worrying me too much. But now I'm going to go ahead and finish off this side. Then the whole truck will be done. We can go ahead and start working on the wheels and tires. All right, so for wheels and tires on this thing, we found these F150 stocks. And these are actually the exact wheels that I pictured on this truck when we first got it. Luckily, Chase found them down in Wilmington area when he was at school. So he picked them up and he brought them back. So now we have these to go on the truck. Then on top of that, so now we get these tires. They're Gladiator X Comps. I don't really know much about them, but we got them from Custom Offset. And I think they're going to be pretty good. So they were a good price, good deal, good people to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and get these on the wheels, get them on the truck. All right, so there we go. We got the new wheels and tires on this thing. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, it looks a little bit high right now. I think it looks a little bit off. Before it had those wheels and tires that kind of set the stance that was up, kind of lifted. Now it's still a little bit lifted, but it's got different wheels and tires on it. I think it needs to go a little bit lower, which we had plans for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait overnight, this thing settle down, and then I'm going to measure to see exactly how much drop I want this. I don't know if I want to do a 2.4 or if we want to do a 3.5 on it. So tomorrow I'm going to come back and measure things, and then I'm going to go ahead, get that lowering kit ordered. It's been a little while, but we are back on the F-150. Now you can probably tell it's been a while because I don't have any hair anymore. I ended up donating my hair and raising money for St. Baldrick's Cancer Research. So that was really cool. You guys should look into it if you want to support that cause. But right now we are putting the drop kit on this truck. So we're putting a 3.5 drop on it. So it's a 5-inch in the back and a 3-inch in the front. The way that's going to work is it is a spring under drop kit in the back, which means we're actually taking the rear axle and moving it on top of the leaf springs instead of them being on top, the leaf springs being on top of the axle like it is on this truck. And now in the front, we're going to use a drop spindle. So we're going to leave the factory springs. We're using a spindle that actually relocates the center of the wheel. We'll show you those when we get to that. But right now I am working on the rear. So here is the way I'm going to do this in the rear. Because it has the brake lines and everything hooked onto it, and I really don't want to mess with that. So what I'm going to do is I've actually pulled down the parking brake cables right here and I loosened them up. So now I'm going to take the drive shaft, I'm going to pull the drive shaft out, I'm going to tuck it up underneath there because I don't want to pull it out because I don't want all the fluid to drain out of the transmission. So all I really need to do is unbolt it, move it up out of the way. So I'm going to take that off and tie it up a little bit. Then I'm going to drop this axle. When I drop the axle, I'm going to put it on the tall jack so I can lower it enough that I'm not going to mess up this hose or any of the other stuff. Once I get it low enough, I am going to unbolt these guys right here, unbolt the U-bolts from this thing. Then I can lower the axle. I can lower it low enough that I don't damage this, but also low enough that I can rotate it underneath the truck. Then I'm going to undo the rear shackles on these leaf springs. And when I do that, I should be able to rotate them down enough that I can rotate the axle back over top of those leaf springs. Then I can jack it up, put those new spring pads on, and get it bolted together. So right here I have it tucked up out of the way, still connected to the transmission, and I can go ahead and remove this axle and move it around without that thing getting in my way. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and remove these leaf springs. I already moved the one on the passenger side. I'm going to finish up the driver's side. Then I'm going to lower it down enough where I don't mess up this hose here. Still not convinced that I don't need to take that down. So here's where we're at right now. Got the axle sitting above the springs, and then we had to stop. We ended up getting this drop kit from Max Beating Rods, and it sucks. I don't even know what it goes to, but these holes right here do not line up with these holes right here. It's not possible to install this on this. And not only that, the rear shackles, they're not even the right size to fit over the leaf spring. I don't know what this is for, and I messaged them and I said, hey, what's the deal? And they said, we don't know what the problem is. So I'm not really sure what to do with this because it definitely doesn't fit this truck. It won't fit this truck, and I got to figure out how to get my money back. So we went ahead and ordered a different lift from a different manufacturer, different drop kit, excuse me, from a different manufacturer. So we're going to go ahead. That should be here maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. Then we're going to go ahead and get that installed. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and start putting those spindles in the front. Now we got those from Spindle Source, and I looked all around and it seemed like they were a pretty good quality. The part looks really nice. Like they should go on very easily, hopefully. So we're going to go ahead and attack the front. Then hopefully those rear parts will get here and it'll all match up. So we got held up a little bit putting the drop kit on the back of this truck, and I'll show you why. This is why you got to be careful with buying cheap parts. Obviously, I like to buy cheap parts, so I bought a kit from Max Peating Rods, and it didn't come with any directions. And then when I went to look at it, it doesn't even fit. These bolt holes right here are not correct for it. So I ended up buying a different one. This is the way they should look. This is the way they look in the Max Peating Rods kit. They're totally different. They don't even line up. And on top of that, the rear shackles aren't even the same. This is the one from Max Peating Rods, which is too narrow. That's the way they should look. This is the correct kit. I'm in the process of putting this correct kit on here. It came from Max Trax, and it looks like a pretty quality kit. Comes with good instructions, has all the parts it needs. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it goes to. It might go to a 9th gen. I'm not really sure. Max Peating Rods was no help, really. They were like, nope, that's the right one. And I sent them pictures and everything. And they refused to admit that they were wrong. They said, oh, it's been early 04. But this kit works. This is for a 10th gen. This new one works. And they asked me not to tell you guys that their product sucks. But I'm not going to do that. They only offered me $50 back on my order of my kit and said, oh, you can figure out what to do with it later. Why don't you modify it to make it work? Well, I'm not going to do that. I just bought the right kit. We're going to install that. And sorry, I'm going to mention your name. So one of the things I am going to do is I am going to install these Max Peating Rod shocks because they wouldn't give me my money back. We need to put lowered shocks on this thing. So I got these from Max Peating Rods. Hopefully they're better condition. I already installed the driver's side and I know it fits. So that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead, pop this guy on, button this thing up, and the rear is going to be finished. All right, so it is done. The Sidewinder is finished. I know we didn't really do anything mechanically to it, but suspension-wise, we lowered this thing down, put a nice set of wheels and tires on it, and we fixed the engine. So I guess we did do something mechanical, but it wasn't really an upgrade, unless you consider an upgrade running correctly.
That's an upgrade over not running.
That's an upgrade over not running. So here we go. So it's time for Sidewinder to go to its new home now that we're done with it. And
it's me.
It's him. You're going to need some gas. We were really happy with the way this truck turned out. Didn't really need a lot of work, but we wanted to make it our own. Once we were able to get the engine running well, we moved over to focus on the suspension. We put a 3.5 drop kit on it, new front lowering spindles, and a spring under in the rear. On top of that, we did new upper control arms, sway bar end links, and lower ball joints. The wheels, we went with some newer F150 wheels with some Gladiator X-Comp tires we got from Custom Offsets. The interior we didn't touch other than Jake giving it a really good cleaning, which he also did on the exterior before we repainted the grille satin black and gave it some of our Speed Shop logos. Other than it being extremely slow, it looks great driving down the road. If you want to see more of our projects, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us on our social media. Get your MidMech merch at themidnightmech.com and support cancer research. If you watch the end of this video, there's a link to show where you can find out how to help. But for right now, we are going to leave you with some very unimpressive 2-valve burnouts. See you guys next time. So weak.